Speaking freedom. Speaking freedom. Giving you the answers to be free. Be free. Be free. 'Cause we're speaking freedom.
So it is like 5:55 on Wednesday, March the 24th or 23rd, March 23rd, 2022. I know it's 5 something because it was just 5 something when I looked at my clock before I pressed record. So I went to sleep super early. So I'm up super early. Early bird gets the worm. So I kind of sound like this because it's 5 a.m. Anyways, I am going to veer down and proceed to talk because I'm not holding this phone at 5 a.m. There you go. Okay, so I was just sitting here thinking, and I was kind of thinking about the metaverse, but when I was thinking about it, it began to be a bigger thought than just the metaverse in relations to Facebook and its new name Meta and the online universe that is they're trying to create. So my first train of thought was, man, how could Facebook work or the meta universe work and incorporate Facebook? And the original thought was there needs to be a way to where each post transcends into the meta universe. Now, first I was thinking like maybe as a pop-up where you either see people's comments in the meta world and or you begin to group people based on related topics. So, well, it's 2 parts because you could draw people towards people with related topics in the metaverse, or you could literally, okay, all of these people talk about the same type of thing, so we're gonna put these type of people in the Facebook metaverse to where it's like actually creating virtual people for the Facebook users and then making them, although even when they're not actually in the online digital world, the things that they put on Facebook, it kind of moderates, or it's not a moderation, it is a flow through where it transfer also over there. And that thought specifically made me think, well, technically speaking, the whole ideal of what the internet has been overall is like a metaverse universe type, a digital universe, which is the reason why I said I was thinking about the metaverse, but not just the Facebook version of the universe in Meta because they changed their name. When I was saying I'm thinking about the metaverse for real, I'm thinking about the whole totality of online digital communication, because over the last several years, what Facebook is trying to do because I'm not sure if it's actually a Facebook thing or if it's the Oculus, or if those 2 things work concurrently and jointly together to give you the experience. And if that is the case, it really doesn't matter. And the reason why I say that is because you don't need the goggles to be on an online universe in which nobody actually physically meets, but everybody begins to know and become familiar with each other. So when metaverse is incorporated, what you're doing is giving yourself a digital profile, like the Roblox. You know, I've been posting my children playing Roblox, building houses and doing all type of shit for a very long time. So, with that understanding, everything that we've done technically online has been some sort of that. However, in the online universe that currently exists, outside of the children's play in Roblox and all those type of games, although adults do play that, and probably even more now because of everything that's transpiring, um, in the digital world. So literally, for the last several years, we have been creating a digital profile that, whether we like it or not, it speaks loudly of our personality. It speaks loudly of our thought process. It speaks loudly of our attitudes, the vision that we see for our lives, and so on and so forth. So literally, for all of these years, we have been, and I've said this, I remember I said this is my digital vision board, because you can either come here and create the life that you have. Like, if your life is good, you're not going to come on a digital site, whether you are typing it out or whether you're putting on the goggles, where you feel like you're in another world and living it out. You're either going to create the life that you actually have, or you're going to create the life that you want. But if you have a good life, you're not going to create a different life necessarily, unless there's a different life that you want. So this whole universe in the meta world is creating a bigger universe, a bigger digital universe. So when creating a bigger digital universe, although all digital compounds are not technically connected, other than being all able to be found online, every time that you go on any site connected to your phone, you are creating your digital lifestyle, your digital personality, your digital, and really, like, they're giving us access to a virtual world that you can see and physically feel like you're a part of. However, we've been creating that anyways. So when it comes to, like, even my digital content, while I'm sitting here talking, because these are ideals that I'm thinking as I'm talking, sometimes when if I'm ever in a place where I'm sitting and I'm thinking about something and I think that it could have good value, I hit record. But there are times that I don't hit record, and then I can't remember what I was thinking or how it played out in my mind. So, you know, when I hit record, is really to capture where my thought process was going, because in instances, if I don't record it, then I don't recall it. So when we create all of this, like I said a long time ago, we are creating a digital space where, if you look at my timeline, it tells a story of who I am, where I am mentally, because what we are doing in this digital space that is being created, we are putting our mental thoughts of ourselves in a digital moment. So this is who we physically are right now, who we are, who we look, what we look like, our personalities, and all those things. But in a digital world, you can create the person that you desire to be. We've been doing this. And we've been doing this by way of placing our thoughts, likes, interests, and all of those things online. So, although we are not digital characters per se, in the online space, we are. We have already created that. But what this new virtual reality is doing, is giving us the space to make it a reality. Now, if you can incorporate all of our thoughts, all of the information that we've posted online collectively into a online universe individually, we're like, okay, um, if you could go and like, this will be dope. And this is just me again speaking it out while I'm sitting here thinking about it. What would be dope is if all of the things that I've posted online, whether it is on my Vimeo, whether it is on my Facebook, whether it is on Instagram, whether it is on Twitter, whether it is on the old Black Planet website, whether it is on MySpace, Black Planet, then MySpace, then Facebook, then Instagram, then Twitter. Now fan base about to blow them all out the water. um, so in that hindsight, if you could put all of those things and collectively trace a person's background, man, it's almost like what I've been doing when I was looking at my family history. And it's so crazy to do that shit now. All the years that I spent thinking about what things were like and how I could figure out, some of the things, give me a picture of who my family is, because again, leaving at 17, I really didn't know, a lot. I wasn't around long enough to ask intelligent questions to give me a better understanding of who I'm related to and what that says about me individually as a person and who I've become and all those things. But when you go and you look at the history of my, the things that I could find, it really speaks volumes. So now, if you go and you look at the history of who people are, who people were, how they used to be, the things that they, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, you will begin to see why we have people changing their physical appearance. Like, really, honestly, based on everything that's going on in the world right now, if people were fat and out of shape, they could go into the digital universe and have the perfect fit life. Now, the things that I would do, it creates like a collage of things, but it really shows who you are. Like, ooh, excuse me. If you could literally go and combine all of your old profiles and all of that together and be able to tell a storyline of your life, that would be amazing, yo. Like, that would be like so dope to be able to say, okay, like for me. And I like to use me as an example, even when it doesn't apply to me sometimes, because it gives other people the freedom to say, what if that was me? What if I was in that situation? Knowing if I am or not in that situation, or not knowing. But the ability to go and kind of really see who a person is, what their thought process has been like, how they have matured and grown over the years. Because there were picture-based apps back then. What we're doing digitally now is not really new. They're just putting it into a realistic form. So, but creating a character based off who you are now versus being able to kind of see like a internet facts, like a whole facts, like a car facts, like a, you know what I'm saying, like where you can go back and you will see who is the person being, how has their thinking been, who are they most likely to become, because although people change, the core of who you are remains the same. Now, for those of us that's, 80s babies, you will pick up where we started, but you won't see the beginning. So a lot of our beginning times is going to be based off of memory. But around high school time, and even I can say that, but then again, if there was a way, and I'm sure there's not, because it was analog then, and it's really harder to tap into analog and really, you know what I'm saying, like get the information from an analog perspective, which is why in a digital form that it is now, and how it's been for the last about 18 years. I don't want to say the last 20 years, because in 2000, like, the internet was just starting to get kind of popping. Like, people had, you know what I'm saying, dial up and shit. But those memes were not always as traceable and as digitally maintained as what you find now. It wasn't. That's what analog was. It was kind of like, that's why people like prefer like radios and stuff like that versus a cell phone where it's digital. So it's like some things, like, say in real time. And so when it's like this, it comes in real time. And you don't have to do all of that phone tapping, like going into the house and actually putting a bug on the phone. Like, they could be listening to me do this video right now. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the fact that they could be tapped into the computer. They could be tapped into the phone. They could be, you know what I'm saying, any digital space in which they can tap into digital, you know what I'm saying, like manipulatively, from a digital space, they would be able to do and just hear whatever it is that you got going on. And this is one of the reasons, like, when I think about having certain types of meetings about different types of things, sometimes I'd be like, look, no phones in the room, period. And I'm not saying like I don't want one of us to capture the moment. We could have a camera that.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kaci, not your typical clinical doctor. I am an ordained minister, but not your typical minister. I am also a certified life coach, love coach, sex coach, solution focused coach, transformation coach, and more. I have a whole lot of information that I would like to help you grow with. And I hope that soon I can help you be the best you that you can be. Confidence, spirituality, and purpose. That's wholeness, complete.
That can capture the moment without, because if it's not connected to Wi-Fi, then it, you know what I'm saying, it can't be tapped into in that manner. It's a lot of things that go on now that makes it easier for things to be captured in a eavesdropping, tracking, historical fact-finding type of way. And it's not bad, because a lot of the things that we believe now is based on the he said, she said of somebody telling the story of a story that was told to them. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, it's like that game Telephone. By the time it gets to the end, the whole damn story has been manipulated, changed, and could have been just misheard. It might not even have been something that somebody was trying to do like that. But being able to now create a digital file of all of who you are, who you've been, it really would speak volumes, for real, for real. Like, in the course of life, what would that digital footprint speak about you? Speak about your life, your mind, what you believe, how you feel about yourself. And while I'm doing this, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how many people would look totally different features wise, you know, how many people went and got their body, face, or something else done. And that made me think about, like, damn, when people start getting shit done, that means they've never liked who they are or how they look. So they're trying to alter things that they've always felt insecure about. But if you get an opportunity to go and see the transformation of a person, the evolution of a person, it would show you so much about people and life. Like for me, I don't think that there would be a big shift or change. The only thing that would probably be of a bigger shift and change is my openness about the possibilities of sexuality. Um, And the only reason I say that is because I've always kind of talked about sex. When I was in church and them girls used to get married, I used to talk big boy shit. I used to go get them goddamn syrup and all type of shit for honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always in a different space when it comes to that mindset in regards to sex and romance and all of those things. So when you look back at my life and the things that I've done and the things that I've been through, you will actually find that I am truly aligned with who I've always been, the mindset that I've had. I think if anything now, you get a better understanding of why I've thought like that, and where I've come to who I am now. Like a lot of things in our childhood, even if we don't realize it, it really speaks to some of the things that we are drawn to and some of the openness to those things, or some of the distance and disdain about those things as well. So like I think that it would be dope. The purpose of this video in its original context and content was that it would be dope to be able to incorporate our digital footprints, our digital profiles, because even though people go back and delete certain stuff, I don't think that anything is ever really deleted. Like, it's still out there somewhere. It's just whether or not it can be recovered. Now, if they give you the ability to recover things that have been deleted, yeah. I mean, and listen, the reason why I think that this would be a good idea is because it would stretch the expansion of Facebook and the metaverse a lot quicker, because right now, people having to buy to tap into it is a little bit harder. But if you create it in like a gaming type of space to where you get the full experience with the goggles, but you can get an experience without. And again, because we post online, we are already in a digital space in our spirit, soul, and mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, we physically can't interact, but that's what the quote unquote metaverse and digital world is creating. But you could do that without doing that, and then make it like a game or something that people can even access from their phones, or, you know what I'm saying, turn that into like the Facebook space to where you go on Facebook, and instead of you just being on Facebook on this app, the app is more so like a game now, like where you have the option to make it to where you are not just sitting there scrolling through posts, where you are now walking through posts. You know what I mean? Like where you could be like on a digital game, like let's say it's a train game where you go and you collect coins and shit. And mix that type of thing with like a Zelda, or because this is what it sounds like it is. I don't have the goggles yet. I was going to buy them. I had not bought them. But I probably will, and we'll have it down in the basement because this is the biggest open space that's not dangerous. I would hate to do it upstairs and then run into my goddamn fireplace or some stupid ass shit like that. I have not got it yet, but if there was a way to see, needing to go and get the goggles is already a challenge for people, and then the goggles being $200, $300, $400 is another challenge for people that use Facebook every day. And the reason why I'm now diverting to this way is because if you make it be where now the app is no longer just this scrolling space, and you make it to where you're kind of walking, like you get on it and you see people, like instead of just seeing the profile picture, you actually are walking by people, or you know what I'm saying, where you actually see faces. But if you make it into like a game, and I'm using that train game, that coin game, just as a visual picture of the space of being able to walk and see people's comments, like walking past people. Because literally, I don't know if people think of it like this, but when you go on any social media site, you're walking past people's thoughts, you're walking past people's interests, and you're able to see all of these things. In a digital world, in my mindset, the space would be for those things to come and be drawn to you. The same way that Instagram does, and they draw you towards things that you like or show interest to. These are all things that the internet is already doing right now. But if you make these apps into more of a digital space, a digital gaming space, then and because Instagram and Facebook are both owned by Meta, if you turn those apps into more like a gaming feature, then you will captivate people the same way you want people to put on that goggles and be captivated. But in this instance, instead of you scrolling, you can have the option to do it like in person, where a person has created their avatar, like they did those bit mites or bit stamps or whatever the fuck. And then kind of like what Apple has done is putting those people, giving those characters, but taking all of those things. Oh my gosh, I feel chills on my damn arms. I got on this robe, so I'm not cold. Taking all of those things, and I gotta turn you over so you can see my hands. And like this, hopefully it's still recording, and making those things interconnect, and using that to create a space to where when you get into your phone, you're not just on a phone looking at things. It becomes you as a person being pinged right there. And it's like, it would be great if it was like, so I had this dream once. And in the dream, I was like inside of a bigger thing. It was kind of like that movie, Little Dave or something, where Eddie Murphy was like living inside of a person. And that person was like, but that's what it would be. It would be like, that's the example I could use. So this is my lighter. It has a picture of me. It would be like, every time you get on the app, you putting yourself in this place, and now you can look around. This is what we do every time we get on a social media site. This is what we're doing. We get on this social media site and we're looking around. We're interacting with people. Hey, how you doing? And we're interacting with, yeah, da 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 da. And you're just, you know what I'm saying? And this is what social media really is right now. But there is no physical component to make you feel as though this is what you're doing. You're holding conversations. You're having meetings. All of the things that it seems like can't be taking place online, this is what is really happening online. You're getting to know people online. So if I was able to go on this app, any app, it could be fan base could do this. and you like pay to interact with their digital character from your, now it's gonna be distracting in the motherfucker, like, but it's already a space that we're in, but it's giving us more intuitiveness of control of it, in a sense, because I'm just thinking like, well, I don't know if this will work for everybody, because if you built the person's avatar based on their whole entire digital profile from like when they first got online and start posting, it may be interesting because you will see, has a person been consistent? Is this who they really are? And all of those things. But I am really interested in the capabilities and the possibilities of incorporating all of people's digital footprints and spaces into one place. Like, I think that would be a dope thing, but the part that really got me to starting this video was being able to take that, like I showed you, and put that person in a space to where they realize that every day when we get online, we are literally walking through, talking to people that we barely know, and doing it in a way that is more realistic. If you listen, everybody might not like this, but if you give it an option to where you can actually, like swipe, not necessarily swipe, but maybe it's a different mode where you can put it in the mode to where it's the gamer mode, and then you're actually in a game. Like, instead of going and playing Angry Birds or Call of Duty, it would be like a Call of Duty type shit, to where you actually can, or playing Madden or something where you actually feel like you are one of the characters. Maybe not Madden, maybe more like NBA sports or something, where you can you can be one of the characters, or you can look from, a distance. That's how it should be, where you can actually be like, is you right there, or you can be from a distance and guide it. And you, because literally this is what we do every day. We are walking around in real life, and we're on our phones, or we're sitting in real life on our phones, and when we're swiping, when we're on our timeline, let me stop saying swiping because it means different things on different apps. When we're on our timeline scrolling through, we are literally like walking past people, and I'm either going to talk to you because I can relate to what you're talking about, or I'm going to avoid you and I'm going to talk to the person that I relate to. And it's just like when people say, if you don't agree, just keep scrolling. It's like walking past somebody that you don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you could give that option, that shit would turn this mother out. Turn this mother out. Okay. I think I'm done now because I'm ready to go back upstairs. I was supposed to come down here, use the bathroom, and go back upstairs. And now I done been down here for 30 minutes recording this video. But it was good. And I appreciate you for listening whenever this drops. Tap in, Speaking Freedom TV, edu-freedom.org. I always know we are stronger and better together. And everything that is presented is always bigger than you. God has a plan that's for you. You just have to be willing to tap in and then follow through. Have a great day. We love you.
Speaking Freedom presents Good Head Group, providing advanced spiritual studies and personal developmental insight. Brought to you by Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We look forward to helping you grow in all the areas of your life. We hope that you find all the information needed for your growth. God bless. Please listen to all disclaimers provided. If you are currently under physician's care, please maintain that relationship. This is not intended to stop your current treatment plan. If you need physician care, please seek out medical attention. Please note, all results are based on the individual's ability to adapt and adjust to any given environment and situation. We are not responsible for your results at Speaking Freedom. The life enhancement coaches at Speaking Freedom provide information to help you grow. You are responsible for maintaining that growth, taking on and then applying the information to your individual life as you deem needed and necessary. This may contain and explain explicit content. Please use parental discretion. For best results, you will need an open mind, the ability to research, and a balanced lifestyle.
Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang, and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.